Here's how you make vegan Crunchwrap Supremes. We're gonna start off with some TVP, which you're gonna soak in some vegetable broth, or I'm just using some vegan bouillon and some boiling water. While that's soaking, we're gonna chop up some mushrooms and some onions and throw those in a pan with some oil, and then add your soaked TVP. And I added a little more vegetable bouillon. And then for seasoning, we're going to add some chili powder, some smoked paprika and regular paprika, mustard powder, some garlic powder, and cumin. Now for the cheese sauce, we're going to boil some potatoes and carrots until they are cooked and soft. And then throw them in a blender along with some tapioca starch, some miso paste, some jarred jalapenos along with some of the juice, some garlic powder, smoked paprika, and lots of nutritional yeast. And then we're also going to add in a splash of milk and kind of keep adding some splashes of milk as you blend it until you get the consistency that you want. And taste it to adjust the seasoning to your liking, and then put it back on the stove to activate the tapioca starch and give it that sort of gooey, cheesy texture. And then to make our vegan sour cream, we're gonna boil some cashews and blend them with some milk, apple cider vinegar, lemon juice, and salt. And then we're gonna create our guac, which we're gonna just do some avocado, onion, and lime, and salt, and pepper, and then mash that on up. Okay, and then we need to make the crunch of the Crunchwrap Supreme, so we're gonna oil some corn tortillas on both sides. I also decided to make some chips while I was at it, so I just cut up some of those corn tortillas, also oiled them on both sides, and then added some salt, and then pop both of those trays in the oven at 425 until they get a little brown and crispy. And then I added some lime to those chips, and then we're gonna oil a pan. And these are the tortillas I'm using. I like them because they have minimal ingredients. And then we're gonna start assembling. So we've got some cheese, some meats, we got our crunchy thing, we got our sour cream, we got our guac, we got our lettuce, tomato, salsa, and then I cut a smaller part of the tortilla for the middle because these wraps are not quite big enough, and then you just wrap it up in this beautiful little kind of flower pattern, and then you pop your hexagon in your oiled pan and let it cook on both sides until it gets brown and crispy. And just look at that beauty. Oh, and there's my chips and guac. Enjoy.